Hey guys, it's Rich Boy J here back in with another video, and this is going to be the announcement of the next big MOC. If I sound a little weird, I apologize guys. I somehow came down with a cold in the middle of the summer. It's literally like 100 degrees outside, but I have a cold somehow. I think it's because I slept under an air vent, but that's besides the point. That was not going to delay me announcing the next big MOC. Before I get into that, I just wanted to say that the Crate MOC was a very big success in my opinion. It's what grew the channel quite a bit, and I think a lot of you who are here right now are here because of the Crate MOC or even the Scarif MOC before that. So thanks to everyone who has been there throughout all of those MOCs, and I hope to see you throughout the duration of this next MOC. One other thing I did want to get to, however, is the fact that in the last video there seemed to be a little bit confusion about what I said. I said that this next MOC is going to be a solo project, and I think a lot of people took that to mean that it was going to be from the Solo movie. I'm here to let you know that that is not the case. By solo project, I meant that it is going to be a project that I'm working on by myself, not from the Solo movie. So those of you who saw that and maybe got excited or were interested in it, I'm sorry about that. That is not what I meant. Next time I'll try to be a little bit more clear on not really giving any hints as to what the MOC is going to be. That's not what I wanted to go for in that video. But nonetheless, the next MOC is going to be Vardos from Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are watching this right now, and if you haven't played the game, you're probably wondering, what the heck is Vardos? And that's why I'm making this video, to explain what the heck it is. Vardos is essentially an Imperial city, and it is the home planet of the protagonist of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign, Iden Versio. And I really like the city because it is essentially an Imperial city. It kind of reminds you of Coruscant, but I would kind of describe it as a more higher class version of Coruscant. It isn't so far as it doesn't really have like the lower danger levels, whereas all of it is pretty much just large office building looking things and streets and a lot of Imperial propaganda throughout the entire thing. So that'll be really interesting. One of the biggest reasons I decided to do Vardos was because I wanted to build the Corvis. The Corvis is the Raider class Imperial Corvette that the three protagonists of the game fly around, whether they're a part of the Empire and then later on a part of the Resistance. And I really like the design of the ship. It's kind of like a hybrid between a Star Destroyer and a TIE Interceptor. At least that's the way that I would describe it to someone. And I think that it is going to make for an awesome Lego model. So in these past few projects, they've all involved some sort of big build. I think Scarif involved the AT-ACT as well as the Citadel. Crate involved me building an AT-M6, and that is going to continue into this MOC where I'll be building a pretty large-scale Corvis. Of course, I'll try to add as much of an interior as possible, and I think that you guys are really going to enjoy that aspect of the mod. But putting the big ship aside, let's talk a little bit more about the landscape. One of the things I was more excited about with this MOC than with Crate is the fact that it's not just going to be completely flat. In fact, there's going to be a lot of streets, obviously a lot of buildings, and of course the main big tower. That's going to be probably one of the biggest elements of the MOC, and I anticipate it being pretty freaking tall, so that'll certainly be a challenge. One of the other cool things about this MOC is that it'll allow me to use a lot of my Imperial stuff from my collection. For example, I'll actually be able to use my Imperial AT-AT Walker, because during the mission you actually hijack an AT-AT Walker and literally walk through the streets with it back to the ship. I'll also be able to use an awesome AT-ST MOC that I have. I haven't shown it off to this channel, but whenever we get to that point in the MOC, I'll be sure to do it, and of course have a video review for you guys, because I think it is an excellent looking AT-ST MOC. One of the other exciting things that I'll be able to do is build one of Jarek's Imperial TIE Fighters, the original trilogy version. So I'm super excited to have one of those in my collection. I probably will end up building a couple of them by the time this project is finished, but right now I have all the parts for one of them, and that is definitely going to be a part of this build series. And then finally, I'm going to be able to use my UCS Imperial shuttle. My shuttle is probably one of my favorite UCS sets ever made, and I think it's definitely top 5 best Lego sets ever made. So it will definitely be an exciting thing to be able to put that into a MOC. A lot of the scenes that you see in the video game involve those Imperial shuttles dropping off stormtroopers, so that'll be something that I'm looking forward to incorporating into the MOC. Also, one of the things that'll be very interesting about this MOC is the use of lights. I went to Brickwall, Chicago, and they do this thing called World of Lights, where essentially on Saturday night they turn off all the lights in the room and they let you experience all the MOCs in their full illumination. And I swear to you guys, it is the coolest Lego experience that I ever had in my life. Because of that, I want to make sure I have a heavy incorporation of lights into Vardos. This is the perfect time for me to look into it and do it right. So I'm definitely going to be looking into adding as many lights as possible possible and having this thing look amazing in low light conditions. I'm also going to have to look into getting some custom figures made for this MOC. As you know, Inferno Squad are the 3 members that actually are the protagonists of the game, and they go into Vardos, so I'm going to have them in the MOC somehow. The problem is Leia doesn't have a minifigure of it, but the good thing is that'll actually kind of force me to go into looking into different avenues and to seeing people who can custom make these figures for me. I've only had one figure custom made for me. It was a pretty simple job. It was just the Rebel Friend minifigure. This is a little bit more involved, so this will kind of push me to the side of like custom figures that I really haven't looked into so far. So I think that is another learning point that I'll get from this MOC, and hopefully you guys will learn something from it as well. I hope you guys are as excited about this project as I am. I still have never seen anyone do a large-scale Imperial City in Lego form, so it'll be something I think that'll be fresh in the MOC community and something that no one has really done on a large scale in general in terms of just doing Vardos. So I'm not going to have a ton of other people's work to kind of go off of and give me inspiration. It'll mostly just be me looking at screens from the video game and maybe some concept art to determine what this MOC is actually going to look like. The first update video for this MOC is going to go up this Sunday, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. I've been collecting parts here and there to start the build process of it. I think on the first week there's not going to be a ton of building, but more so planning, just so I can kind of wrap my head around how everything will be oriented. I still haven't decided on a final size for this MOC. I think it'll definitely be smaller than Crate, but it'll still be pretty large scale. So that's going to finish up the video, guys. Let me know what you like to see in this Vardos MOC. If you don't know what Vardos is, I recommend you guys go look at some gameplay footage of it. It's a pretty cool looking planet. I think it'll make for an excellent looking Lego MOC. Like I always say, guys, if you like what I do, go ahead and support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.